Hey, this is Mark's watching for MTC Media. First and foremost, happy holidays as we are starting the post Thanksgiving run um, all the way up to New Year. So, of course, you've heard by now that Jack Del Rio is no more in Washington. My previous opinion has hardly changed. Um, this group, meaning the Harris ownership group, needs an entire offseason to chart where they want this organization to go and who is best to lead it. So I'm not too much into the pound of flesh thing. To me, this is just a reflection of Ron Rivera's time here in Washington, where they've never been over 500, where he has not made the necessary changes in the coaching staff. He has not drafted the correct players or signed the correct players in free agency to make this team a winning organization, which is what he was tasked to do. I think too many people, especially when it comes to football things, being coach and having a staff is guys got to do it your way. Nope. You're hired to put the organization in the best foot possible, i.e., you're hired to win games. That means that you have to divert from where you thought you were going to be and divert from what you want to do, then you divert. It's not a round peg in a square hole type of deal. So this is a failure on Ron Rivera's part over 4 years because he's had complete control for 4 years. Not a GM. Daniel Snyder got out of his way. Ron Rivera got to do everything, and this is the result. So he probably won't be kept. He shouldn't be kept. But again, I'm not a big proponent of throwing everything away unless, as someone suggested to me, if you want to consider Eric Bieniemy for the next head coach of the Washington Commanders, then releasing Ron Rivera and then having Bieniemy finish out the last few games makes sense. I don't know if that is the plan. That was something someone told to me, like, hey, look, and they weren't even suggesting that Bieniemy will have a shot. They were just saying if that discussion is happening in the rooms upstairs, then maybe that's the only way you consider getting rid of Rivera. And I somewhat could see that. But if that conversation not happening, I am to what I originally said, which is you let the staff finish out while you're doing your due diligence on finding a GM and finding a coach and then finding the upper executives for the front office to reflect a impactful, effective, winning way going forward. So that doesn't mean everyone gets mad day after a game and you want to fire everyone. We are well beyond that point. So, yes, I for one like to see Del Rio go. It did not shock me. It did not upset me. But it wouldn't upset me or shock me if they didn't let him go. Because, again, this staff, from the front guy all the way down, has had plenty of time to turn this around in a league that brags that the turnaround for teams to turn stuff around in professional sports is probably the shortest amount of time because of their rather uber socialistic model that the NFL has, which of course is dripping with irony, but that's a discussion for another time. So that's their big bragging is, oh, this is the league where you can go from 4-12 to 12-4. That's said all the time. So if you've had 4 years, especially if you had 4 years of total control, and this is the same thing with John Gruden with the Raiders. It's no different. The only difference is the emails. But it's no different. If you've had 4 years of total control, and the best you are is 8-8-1, which is what the best Rivera has been here in Washington, and then you get a new ownership group, yeah, man, it's time to roll out. So Jack Del Rio, you can pack up your office, go. No one's going to miss you. Obviously, the fan base says long overdue, but let's just kind of slow our roll on just wanting to throw everyone out when we're about to be in December anyway. Just let it ride. It's Mark's watching MTC Media.